everyone, this is O'Fallon again for your Facebook Live. So this week we're going to talk about osteochondral defects. We're going to talk a little bit about what kind of surgery it is, what goes on in the surgery, kind of some knee anatomy, and then we'll go through a protocol and a couple of exercises that you're going to be doing throughout each phase. I'm Kinsey, and then Kaylee's going to be helping too. She's a student from Southwest Baptist University. So Kaylee's going to start by kind of introducing like the anatomy of it and then kind of explaining the different surgeries. And then I'll come in and we'll do some exercises and show you some exercises, okay?
All right, I can go ahead and take this mask off now that we're kind of separate here. So yeah, my name's Kaylee. I'll kind of go over what we're going to start with. So first, osteochondral defect. We're going to start by kind of explaining that and what causes it. So you have damage to a focal area. You can have this in different areas of the body, but we're going to focus on the knee today, and so I'll be showing you here. You can have focal area to damage, and then we're going to be it would affect the cartilage on the knee as well as the bone underlying it. And so this can be caused by an acute trauma or if you just have a bone disorder. And overall, this can happen to a handful of people, but we typically see runners or athletes with this issue. And so let's just go over the knee a little bit. So we have the femur bone, we have the tibia, patella, and then we also have the fibula on the side here. And so the anatomy of the knee is going to have articular cartilage on both the distal end of the femur and the proximal end of the tibia here. And we need that cartilage for the function of the knee in order to function properly. And in this defect, we have damage to that. So I'm going to go over a couple different ways to fix that surgically. So first, when they go in, they're going to remove the damaged cartilage, and then we will go and treat the bone to kind of stimulate the growth of that cartilage to get it back. So first you can have what is called a mosaoplasty, and what the surgeon is going to do is going to say we have the defected area right here. We're going to go in, the surgeon is going to go in and go ahead and cut a round area to kind of remove all of that defect. And then what they're going to do is go ahead and take articular cartilage from another part that is non-weight bearing. And what they're going to do is take the articular cartilage and a little bit of the bone. And so in that hole where the defect was, they're going to go ahead and take that, those little pieces that we've had, and plug them into the hole, kind of like a mosaic. And that will promote some stimulation of healing of that cartilage in that area. The other way you can kind of go about it, the surgeon might do, is a autologous chondrocyte implantation. And so this is a combination of two surgeries. First, what they're going to do is go ahead and harvest the cartilage in one area and take them into the lab and let them stimulate growth for about 4 to 6 weeks. And then the second time they're going to come in and take a patch from like the tibia, and then we're going to go to the defect site, put that patch in, and then take the cells from the lab and go underneath the patch and kind of sew it back up to also promote some growth and stimulation, okay? So next we're gonna go ahead and go over the protocol of the knee. So let me go get Kinsey and we'll go over that for you guys.
Hi everyone, I'm back. Take my mask off. Okay, so Kaylee kind of explained to you guys the different anatomy, the different surgeries. So I'm going to go through a protocol and a couple of exercises in each phase that you're going to be kind of working on and kind of explain. I won't show all the exercises because there's a lot, but a couple of main ones, and then kind of what you'll be working on through each phase so you kind of know the progression of exercises and the length of recovery and what to expect. Keep in mind, I looked up a protocol. We have a certain protocol, but each surgeon uses a different protocol. And depending on what they did, depending on what surgery, depending on how big the defect was, depending on the surgeon, it's not going to be, this isn't going to be, you know, exact. It's going to be a general guideline. They're going to have their exact ways that they do it. So it's going to be a little different than what I say, but the general idea is going to be about the same. So the first phase of the protocol is more of a protection phase. So it's going to be 1 to 8 weeks. Generally, like I said, the timelines are going to be a little different, but usually about 1 to 8 weeks. You start non-weight bearing on crutches. Sometimes you'll have a brace that locks. Sometimes you don't have a brace that locks. And each surgeon has a little different timeline of your weight bearing status, but most of the time for the first little section, you're going to be non-weight bearing. The goals are going to be to get your knee range of motion, so the bending and the straightening back as soon as possible. A lot of times you gradually do it. They'll kind of limit you the first week, then the second week, and we'll just gradually, slowly increase your bending. And the big one we're going to try to do is get quad recruitment. So that's one of the biggest things that decreases after surgery is your quad. It's very, very weak. So getting that quad recruitment back is going to be important for walking properly when you are able to get off the crutches. So that's one we're really going to focus on in the beginning, try to get the quad going again. And then obviously control pain and swelling, because that's the big thing right after surgery. If you're really painful and you're really swelling and you can't control it, you're not going to be able to do exercises as you progress. So kind of getting that pain, getting that swelling down right away is going to be helpful long-term recovery, because it's not, the swelling and the pain isn't slowing you down as you progress. So a lot of the exercises in the first phase are simple. There are a lot of range of motion exercises. There are a lot of quad strengthening exercises. I'm going to move the phone here so you can see me on the table, and I'll kind of demonstrate some of the exercises. So first one you're going to do is going to be for knee range of motion, because that's a big one to do at first. So you're going to put a towel under your heel, and you're just going to kind of do some slides. A lot of time you'll have a belt, like a strap. You can strap it around your foot, and you're going to kind of help pull it, and you're just going to do nice and easy bends. So the key with this one is no pain, and you want to pull a little bit, like right before that big stretch that you feel. You don't want to force this one, especially not in the beginning. So just nice and slow knee bends to try to get that range of motion back. Different ways you can do the hamstring stretch. If you have a table like this, or a high bed or anything, you can kind of put your leg like this, leave it straight, and then you're just going to lean forward, and that's going to be stretching the back of your thigh, your hamstring. Or you can get a strap or a belt. You can wrap it around your foot, and then you're just going to take the strap and bring it up till you feel that stretch right there. So for all these stretches, you're going to do about 30-second hold, and you're going to do it 3 to 5 times is usually the general amount that you do those. For a good quad exercise at first, you're going to get a little towel roll. You're going to put it under your knee, and then you're going to push down into that towel. So you're not pushing at your heel, you're not pushing down your heel, and you're not squeezing your butt. You're just pushing your knee down and tightening the top of the thigh. So at first, you're not going to even probably have any definition of your muscle. It's going to feel like it's doing nothing, but you're going to work on kind of tightening up again and then relaxing. Tighten for about 3 seconds and relax. And this is one of the first stages of getting that quad going again. Seems like a simple exercise, but at first it's going to be difficult, and it's really important to get that quad going before we do some of the harder exercises later. A couple of strengthening ones you can do when you get that quad going. So at first you won't be able to do it, but once that quad recruitment gets up, you're going to be able to lay flat. You're going to be able to keep your legs straight, and you're going to do little leg raises. So you're going to go up, down, kind of back and forth. And the main thing with this one is you don't want to keep your knee bent. You want to tighten that quad in order to keep your leg as straight as you can, and then back down. And then you're going to lay on your side here, and you're going to keep it straight, and you can do side leg raises as well. And then you can lay on your stomach, and you're going to lift up like this and keep your legs straight, and you're going to do leg raises. So that's a good way of kind of strengthening the glute muscles without stressing your knee, especially in the beginning stages. So the next phase is about 8 to 36 weeks. So it's that next phase where your pain's down, your swelling's down, your motion is pretty much at this point for the most part back to normal. You're going to be kind of transitioning out. You're going to be weight bearing. You're going to be walking without crutches. So you're gonna kind of be able to do a little more strengthening, so you can kind of start doing some weight bearing stuff. You can kind of start getting into the more difficult strengthening exercises. So that's going to be the most important. The next ones I'm going to show you are all depending on you getting that quad back. So that first 6 to 8 weeks, getting that quad muscle back strong is going to be the most important, so you're able to do this next phase that I'm about to show you. So the first couple are going to be, you're going to be able to start to do a little bit of squatting. So you can kind of start easy on a counter or a table, and you can kind of start just doing little mini squats. Kind of making sure your knees aren't going over your toes. So when you're doing it, you want to always make sure you can see your toes at all times when you're squatting. Your knees should never cover up your toe. That means you're going too far forward and you're stressing your knee. So if you are going too far forward, you want to kind of stick your butt out, almost like you're sitting in a chair and then coming back up. And then that's a good progression. And then we can, as you get stronger over the weeks, we can start to squat on a leg press machine. We can start doing hamstring machine. The leg raises that you do on the table, we can progress that and start doing like a hip machine. So more like machine weights you're going to be able to start doing slowly. You're going to be able to start, if you get a step, you're going to be able to do a little step up. So you're going to have a little step, you're going to step up with your surgical leg, and really as you're stepping up, you're going to tighten your quad. So you're going to step up, and then you're going to lower, you're going to step down with your good leg. So then you have to kind of work on lowering with your surgical leg. It strengthens it a little bit differently. So you're going to step up and then down, and you're going to tighten that quad the whole time. And you can also start at this phase, you're going to be able to start doing some balance stuff as well. So you're going to be able to start doing some single leg balance on the floor. You're going to start doing tandem, which is just one foot in front of the other on the floor. You're going to start progressing to foam. You're going to start progressing to different surfaces. That way, when you're kind of on an uneven surface, you're going to have to control your knee more. So that kind of gets those muscles going. And that helps kind of walking on uneven surfaces and different things like that. And you can kind of start progressing that if you're an athlete, if you're trying to return to a sport, or if you're trying to return to a certain hobby, you can kind of start gearing towards more specific stuff relating to whatever sport you're playing or whatever hobby you want to get back to. So you can kind of start getting more specific in this phase on the sports specific activity or whatever hobby you want to do. And then the next phase is going to be about 36 weeks on, is kind of that last phase, give or take on what you want to get back to. If you're trying to return to just, I want to be able to walk around my house, I want to be able to run, I want to be able to play football, whatever sport it is, that's when you really get into the return to run, sport-specific stuff that your therapist can help you with. So long recovery process for this type of surgery for sure, but you can kind of over time start to slowly get harder exercises. Quad strength is going to be a big one, glute strength is going to be a big one, balance is going to be a big one, proprioception, and then kind of getting back into that sports specific activity. So that's kind of the overview of the protocol. And like I said, each surgeon is a little different, but those are going to be some of the basics that you're going to kind of look forward to. And you can kind of do a lot of it at your house as well, which is good. We always have, as you're going through therapy, if you have had this surgery before, or if you liked an exercise, we have them on our website. Also, all the tools that you'll use in the clinic, you can also do it at home to kind of get you back a little quicker. But most important thing is it's a long recovery, but even 1 week after surgery, you're going to be able to slowly start doing more and more each week. So long recovery, but you'll kind of, usually about a year, you're getting back to doing what you want to do. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions about the surgery, what they do during the surgery, any other questions after the surgery, you can always comment under here and we can answer you back. And I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.